Hello and welcome to the show. I'm here today on Project Cars 2, going to be doing a Nascar race. You see, I was sat earlier this week watching the Sonoma round. I don't know, this will be strange for some of you, however, yes, I'm a British person who thoroughly enjoys watching NASCAR, and I'm a big fan of oval racing. I very, very much enjoy oval racing. However, the last NASCAR race I saw was running around Sonoma, and it's always interesting watching these cars go racing around a normal, proper circuit, I guess you could say. And I very much like the Sonoma short layout. Basically, I fancied having a go myself. So we're on to Project Cars 2 to sort of replicate it and to, you know, run from the back of the field and have some fun overtaking in the Ford. Now, we can't quite have as many as we used to back on Project Cars 1. I think you used to be able to get like 42 at Sonoma. Here we can only get 32, although perhaps a good idea, because sometimes everything gets a little bit funky when you put on too many AI. So 32, I'm going to do a quick test, seems to be okay around Sonoma. I'll be starting from the very back, and I have 14 laps to try and get myself up the order. I have also got another rule on here. There is one mandatory pit stop, so pit strategy could play a part. I had wanted to whack up the tyre wear, like a percentage, to make the tyres wear considerably faster. I couldn't find an option. I might just be being stupid, and I apologise if I am being stupid. I couldn't find an option to turn up the tyre wear, so instead I just said, right, one mandatory pit stop, and then the rest of it we've got to figure out, well, kind of as we go around. We are having a rolling start. Not only is that accurate for the series, but also because the AIs are less likely to derp out. It's going to be a crowded first lap. It always is when you've got this many cars, and especially this many big and a little bit difficult to drive cars. It's going to be a crowded first lap. We have almost had a sneakily pair of overtakes on, yeah, we've got two cars, but oh no, we've only got one car because he's going to get a better run. Although, is he going to be, I'm going to give him space. I don't want to get turned before we even get to the start-finish line. We have sneakily done two cars off of the start line. Little bit of an awkward place for the for the rolling start to release you. This is a real dodgy bit to sneak around the outside of. I don't know how much grip we were going to have. I think we're up to 29th. Oh, we're braking very early. Of course, we're on the opening lap, and everybody kind of stacks up a little bit. I don't really want to be on the outside here if I can help it. I don't think I'm going to get much choice. There we're going to sort of cover the middle of the road. Oh, you're going to go. I've really got myself stuck out here now, haven't we? We're really well and truly stuck out here. Can we? Oh, and a little bit of a lock-up. Brakes are not easy to work with in this car. One of the more difficult vehicles to get slowed down. I mean, as you could imagine, again, fairly accurate to real life. These things are not renowned for their braking prowess, shall we say. Oh, we're going very slowly through here on this opening lap. Occasionally when they're all in a line, everybody gets a little bit stacked up and a little bit confused. I think we've probably got through the worst of it. The hairpin might be interesting on this first lap. If there's any kerfuffles going on, we might be able to sneak a pass here. But I want to be kind of early. I don't want to try and fire too far up the inside, because then you end up running into the back of the car ahead. Oh, we're all going to get a little bit stacked up here. Don't go around the outside of me, please. And there we go. 24th place by the end of lap 1. Pretty happy with that. However, we are 11 seconds down already on the leader. Now, pit strategy. Theoretically, coming in very early might not be a bad idea. It gets you out of traffic, pretty much. If I'd come in on lap 1, I would be out of traffic. However, I think I am so far back, because you get, stuck up in these early fights, that if I came in, I'd still end up with traffic later on, as cars were busy, pitting from further up. I wouldn't have the time to make up all the gap, and I have a feeling I'd just end up getting stuck with traffic with a bunch of cars exiting the pits at various points throughout the race. So I think I might try... Whoa! I might try running a little bit longer, and I definitely don't want to pit with other cars around me if I can help it. I think I probably want to avoid any... I don't want to lose time in the pit stop having to wait for cars coming into their pit box, cars leaving their pit box. So maybe if we run a little bit longer, plus, at the end of the day, we want a more exciting race. If my pit on lap 1 strategy, or pit on the end of lap 1 strategy works, you will potentially spend the entire race running around on your own. Now, in reality, sure, that's what you want. You want to run around on your own and you can take a victory. But in terms of an exciting race, it's... yeah, probably, potentially, not quite so good. But I fear, because again, we've lost another couple of seconds to the leader being stuck fighting everything. I think we would still just end up with traffic at awkward places, and we don't want to make silly mistakes. We don't really want to be involved in crashes around here, do we? Unfortunately, there is no yellow flags. There can be no safety car or pace car or cautions, whatever you want to call them. We can't have those taking place. So that sort of element of strategy, sadly, is not here in Project Cars. A little too far back. If we're going to be wanting to get further up, I mean, of course, you want to win. You always want to win. You want a podium. It's going to be tough in 14 laps. There's a lot of cars to overtake per lap almost. We can probably get some in the pit stops. I'm hoping we can. Might give us half a chance. We're too far back here. I can get a quick run through this corner, but I'm not so good under brakes into the final turn. This is where, it's a little bit of a struggle getting the car stopped, and the AI are more consistent than me, essentially, at getting the car stopped there. If we're close enough through the S's, that's, still technically your most sensible overtaking opportunity. My speed in relation to the AI is probably, I'm generally a little bit too far back to have a go there. I'm much better coming off the top of the next hill and up the inside into the next turn. Potentially where we're going to see a lot of overtakes done today. But you never know. We might have to get creative. We might have to try and get past cars through the S's, although, oh, damn it, we're going to spend another lap not making progress. It's not really me being held up. This was just me being slow and sideways across the top of the hill. We've got a big run on the exit. This is our second best overtaking opportunity. Up the inside. I think we will get that. The white and turquoise car will have to yield eventually. Okay, that's one place this lap around. Don't hit the curbs too hard. The Ford will get launched up onto its side pretty easily. And to be fair, so will the real cars. Again, from watching that, they get some impressive two-wheel moments off of these curves. Oh, I should have gone back to third. Should have gone back to third through all of that, but there we go. Oh, don't knock it up. Don't knock it up. There's a big lock up from the front, I think, through all of that. All right, so the pit stops are now starting to happen. Do we dive in next lap? If the trainer cars ahead of me doesn't come, I would be tempted. I'll still be tempted to go for an early pit stop. Still be tempted to go for that earlier pit stop and try and stay out of traffic. I'm curious to see actually how well the AI split their strategy, what the AIs are going to go for around here. We're going to just kind of back it off over there, focus on getting a good run over the top. Oh, not again, another big slide. We might be a little bit closer. No, not close enough. God damn it. Gonna have to try and do exactly the same manoeuvre down here. Like, where I'm ending up positioning my car, like every lap, I'm finding myself catching all at the same point. Thankfully, I'm catching them all at a good overtaking opportunity, but still, it's, yeah, a little bit, oh god, a little bit of a pain, because I'm only seeming to be able to get one car per lap, and we're gonna need more. We're gonna need a lot more than one car a lap, so maybe if we can get ourselves, what does it look like? There's a couple of cars have gone in. Okay, not too many. Not too many. Now, I don't actually know how much slowing down I need to do here. I imagine fairly, like, I don't know if you can just chuck it in there and the AI will all sort it out. They might do. They might do. Don't get compromised by them. Don't have to brake. Don't have to... Damn it. At least, though, there's only a couple of vehicles around. I mean, that's obviously a car very, very high up. If they've got in, stopped, and got out again, I think that's going to be the only little bit of time that we're going to lose in all of this. Yeah, I've got no control over here. We're going to hope that team does their business. I guess it's just a fuel stop. We're not actually doing tyres in all of this. I think we might have actually been a little bit cheeky, because I think the AI car might have done tyres, because that we've leapfrogged somebody. We have leapfrogged somebody in all of that, and we have come out in a 31st, unless they had a lot of damage. Unless they had a lot of damage that they were repairing, essentially. So, we have come out at the back. There's definitely been at least 2 other cars done their pit stops from further up. I don't know if they were from the lead. At this point in the race, of course, you don't really know. Oh, I suddenly got cold tyres again. Got to remember that. Having, had 5 laps of tyres warming up, and you know roughly where the grip level is, and suddenly you're released on your own, and it's all change. It's actually kind of the whole almost mindset when you're driving in a pack of cars, or when you're in like a long train, which you often are. I often am in these kind of overtaking challenges. When you're in that long train, you almost get suckered into driving with the AI. You get used to where they're braking. You get used to what you need to do because they're fairly consistent. And then you suddenly end up, in this situation, you end up on your own, and now you've got to learn all of your own braking points, but you're not following that car ahead through all of these turns. Now, that does release me to go as quick as I want, which is always good. I'm hoping, I'm going to presume there's going to be some pit stops coming soon from everyone else. They're going to pit once during this race. I'm sort of surprised there hasn't been more early pit stops. There was somebody in the pit that time around, and we were coming up, this is half distance now. They're coming up to. The AI apparently wanting to run nice and long in this in this race. I'm going sideways over the crest. That's not what we want to be doing. Stop going sideways over all of the crests and sideways through the next corner as well. Can we get those tyres back up to... I'm just about back. I'm braking way too early down here. I don't really trust my brakes, so I'm going to be honest. It's a really fine line between this... Well, this thing doesn't stop great, and then it's very easy to lock it up. And you put those two together, judging your braking zone with it is not straightforward. Oh, another big slide. I am pushing this car as much as I think I can get away with. Oh, I can see it. It's just wiggling across the road. Come on, slow down for the hairpin. There we go. Right, what are we doing lap time-wise? There's a few more cars in the pit lane. We need to be going quicker lap time-wise. We need to be getting 16s, low 16s would be good. If we can. 17 is not good enough. We need more speed out of this car. If we're gonna be catching the cars ahead, we're going to need to find some more speed. Let's try and stop sliding. We need the AIs also further up to start getting stuck in battles. That would help me no end if that can happen. They're starting to as cars are coming out of the pits. Everybody's starting to get a little bit more kind of crowded, a little bit busier. Now, in following the rules of Nascar, if you like, well, we're allowed to technically run wide over that bit. This game won't like it, or the AI drivers won't do it. However, in actual NASCAR, there's not really any rules regarding the track limits around that part. You can run it as wide as you like. Actually, there's probably rules and limits on jumping the inside curb, but the outside bit is basically fair game. I'm trying not to do that. That grass there is kind of fair game. Yeah, I'm trying not to... I'm trying not to jump the corner too much, but if I do end up out wide, I'm not going to frantically panic. There is that runoff area. It can be used. Right, so there is starting to be pit stops. We're going to have someone coming out into the fast lane there at a little bit of an awkward angle. That's 25th for us. I'd love to know what position these cars ahead of me were in when they came into the pits. Like, it would be... be nice, it'd be interesting even to know. I'm not got very good. What's happened to my lap time? Lap times have just completely plummeted away from me. I was quite quick at this circuit. The lap times are just gone at the moment. I'm not driving very well at all. We're going to need to drive a little bit better, I think, if we're going to be doing anything more. We have had a little bit of just running around on our own, and I'm not really making any headway. I think cars have come out of the pits and have ended up in front of us. Oh, through the S as we go. I'm going to get a little bit braver. I'm going to have to start getting a little bit braver on these curbs. I'm going to have to start going for it. I don't want to make silly mistakes and, that be what puts me out of the race. I don't want to have a big oversteery moment and spin the car through a quick corner. This has been more like it this lap. We've found some speed. I think the tyres are still... They're not perhaps... the fronts aren't actually particularly warm, so I don't know. I've found some confidence either way. That's more like it. 16.0. That was a very, very good lap for me. Actually, the fastest lap I've done. The fastest sectors have had me in the 50s. That's the fastest, overall strung together lap. That was more like it. We're up to 17th now as more cars are exiting the pits. We've only got 4 laps to go though. If we could have some more cars come into the pits, please, and give me some easy positions. I'm not going to do anything here. We're going to have to wait. We're going to have to wait. It's going to be the next turn. It's where we're going to get it. Up the inside, I think. Here is going to be... Yeah, that's going to be the spot to make that one stick. First gear is always a little... I'd say it's always a little bit dodgy. You're always going to get that sudden big oversteer moment if you aren't careful. Dumping it down into first. Pit lane's got to be getting packed, I hope. I keep expecting there to be this mad rush of cars to it. As long as... Oh, that's not where I wanted to go. Turning way too soon through all of that. Keep it nicely through there. Not on the grass is the most important thing. In this lap here, never likely to challenge the previous lap when you've got to be overtaking and you're going to be fighting and whatnot with other cars. There's a few more, I don't know if they're going to be on the exit. If they're going to be... Nope, they're all still in the pit lane. We're up to 13th by the look of it. From all of that... Come on, top 10. That's kind of, I think, what we're going to end up aiming for after the... I just couldn't get the pace. If I've been doing 16 zeros when we were in clean air, I might have done a bit better. I just hadn't really got the pace when it really counted. Now I've got someone to hunt. The pace has suddenly come back. It's weird. I say it's weird. It's just that sort of psychological thing. Are we going to have another big stop at the inside? Yeah, actually less oversteer. That did not cost me too much in terms of lap time, all things considered. Oh, I'm now getting a bit greedy with that old throttle. We're 12th. Probably, and this lap's probably going to be, I don't know how long the AI will leave it, but there's only going to be a couple of chances now for them to go into the pit, so the field will probably have sorted itself out fairly shortly, and then we'll get a good idea as to where on earth we are overall. Yeah, maybe I would have been better staying out and have cars to chase. I'm always, I say always, I'm often better, even when it comes to like my real racing. I race road patrol cars, and when I've got someone to chase, the lap times tumble, and then when I'm on my own, sometimes finding that same sort of pace is a lot more difficult. We're going to truck around the outside. That's why I didn't want to end up stuck in a situation where I had cars exiting the pits, because it's dodgy. It's dodgy at best, trying to get around them. AI, fairly decent on here. AI fairly well behaved most of the time. Didn't want to clobber that curb with a couple more laps. We're going to do another car down here. It's just every lap I'm gaining time, and it's always at the same place is where I'm in position. I might be able to get somebody maybe into... I don't know where the fast car is approaching from. There is no one going to be a lap ahead of us. Maybe I can get someone into the final hairpin. I'd like to get somebody into a different corner, to be honest with you. It would be nice. It's just... Sometimes the way it goes with these is that you get into a rhythm of gaining and losing time, perhaps, with other cars, and that just ends up meaning that it's always the same corner where you are close to a vehicle. Here, we've just not been in a position to try anything at the final hairpin, because we lose that little bit of time going for the pass. We lose that little bit of time going for an overtake on whatever car, and then you're never close enough. Looks like we are 8th place at the moment. There's a couple more cars, actually, coming out of the pit lane. It's not like we're going to be fighting for the win. However, it looks like that's going to be a 6th for us. Okay, we've come out better than I feared, perhaps, from all of this. I feared we could have been further back. I feared we could have been a little bit further back. I think that's the leader up ahead. I think that sort of blue and greeny car is the lead vehicle. Shall we go for a carbon copy? In fact, we got on the power so early there, and in the back of him. And stop. Okay. That is for... Oh, the podium's going to be tantalisingly close, but I think I'm only going to get one of these guys on this lap. The leaders are too far gone. I think I'm going to spend the rest of this lap trying to gain, unless we can get... We are actually pretty close. We are pretty close here. Can we get... I'm going to have an absolutely mega run through here. It's a good run, but it's nowhere near close enough. Maybe turn 1? Oh, I've not done an overtake into turn 1 outside of that opening lap. The AI are very good out of the hairpin, although this time around we are close. I've got 1 lap and 2 cars to try and overtake if I want a podium. Where am I going to do it? That's the all-important question here. Where are we going to be able to get both of them? We need to have no oversteer off the top of the hill. If I can if I can get off the top of the hill well. Here we go, off the top of the hill, off the top of the hill. No, yeah, it's well enough. Oh, big oversteer. I might have given them a little nudge. Did not intend to give you a little nudge. I got big oversteer trying to get on the power. Oh, we're going to be too far back. I'm not going to be able to do it here. How good can I be into the hairpin? This is what it's going to come down to. It's not for the lead. However, I've got one overtaking opportunity. Yeah, the AI are very good at getting the power down into the S's. However, midway through, they're a little slow. I said I wanted an opportunity to get a car at the hairpin. This might be such opportunity. Oh, we are quick through there. We're going to have to go for it here. Can I pull it up in time? Oh, no. We've skated it in on the brakes. I think I'm going to be sideways. Ah, I gave it everything. I gave it everything. We might still... Oh, no, we might not. I tried to sneak it up the inside. I tried to turn it too soon to try and sneak it. Ah. Damn. Yeah, I gave it everything. I gave it absolutely everything on that final attempt at the hairpin. Just a fraction too much, though. Oh, that was a great race. That was a really good race. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, these are not the easiest cars to drive. These are not the easiest of cars to drive, but they do pretty well. And as I said, I love this circuit. I think it's a great track to run around. Overtaking is a tad tough in places, but we did plenty of it. And the pit strategy kind of worked out okay for me, actually. If I hadn't had some terrible laps when I was on my own, I could have maybe... Well, it would have been tough, because I mean, they were 4 seconds down the road, but maybe could have challenged for the lead, but there we go. That is what it is. That's going to be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.